Hey everyone, it is Dave. Welcome in. It's time to talk about modules 9 and 10. So we are halfway through this semester now, and this week we're going to be covering both printmaking and photography. I'm going to have you create a photography portfolio for a project. And then next week in module 10, we're going to be covering one of my favorite topics, art theft, looting, and repatriation. That's the module that will have the quiz in it. That'll cover the two modules. And then we're on spring break the week after. So let's head over to the Canvas site. I'll walk you through this week's module. All right, here we are on the Canvas site. We'll begin with module number 9. Up top, we have all our usual material. In the lecture on printmaking, this is probably the most technical of all the lectures in the second half of the semester. Don't get bogged down with all the details and everything. But besides the lecture and study guide, the further exploration is really important. I go through and have a video for every single printmaking process: relief, intaglio, lithography, silk screening, and finally monotypes. So those are essential to watch. After that, we have a lecture on photography, our study guide, and then for the further exploration section here, I've got a link to Sally Mann's website, who I talk about in the lecture. I think she's probably one of the most influential contemporary photographers we have. I've got a reading on early photography. This first video, how daguerreotypes are made, is really important. I talk a lot about camera obscuras, and this is just a way of creating a camera obscura, basically darkening a room, and then a little pinhole of light by one of the windows brings in an image of the outside world. It's really kind of a cool process. And the last few are all optional videos. This last one, Beyond the Dark Veil, took place about 10 years ago at Cal State Fullerton, and it was an exhibition on basically photography of people who have passed away. And it is really an amazing topic. It is so popular that they've reprinted the catalog at least 4 times. So it's probably been our best exhibition in recent years. For our project this week, and actually let me zip down to the journal first. For the journal, what I want you to do is actually to share a photographer that you think their work is not only impactful, but that you also share the same culture with. Keep in mind that culture is really broad as far as its definition goes. It's something that we collectively share with a particular group. I always consider my hobbies and interests as something of a shared culture with people who have the same hobbies and interests. With your journal this week, what you're going to do is include an image, then write a short paragraph about the photographer, where you found out about them, why you think their work is impactful, some background and biographical information, and then finally, for the second paragraph, talk about the culture that they share with you. Now we'll get to the project. So for the portfolio, what I want you to do is go out and take some images. I want you to choose 7 of the topics down here from the image list and go out and shoot those. Then take your photographs, put 1 per page, add a caption, talk about the category it fulfills. You want to put the date that you took the photo, and it should be from today's date forward, and then a few sentences about the photograph itself. So how the photo requirement is met, what the image is of, where the image was taken, things like that. And then each of the photos is worth up to 5 points. The portfolio is due on the 23rd. However, there is a grace period with most of my projects, so you have until the 30th to have it turned in. So that'll be right before we go on our spring break. I would also suggest, and I'm asking you this, please submit this as one document, not as 7 separate documents, okay? So put everything into a Word doc, or PDF would actually be better. And that's what I would like you to upload. So let's go ahead and go back to the module. And we're going to go into module 10. So as we go into spring break, we just have one more lecture, but it's a really, I think, powerful lecture, and it's my favorite topic as far as art is concerned, which is art theft, looting, and repatriation. So this is actually a professional lecture I did a couple of years ago. The study guide, and then the further exploration section just has some movie trailers in it. The Rape of Europa, The Monuments Men, The Woman in Gold, which deals with the portrait of Adela Bloch-Bauer, which I'll talk about in the lecture. And then one that is more just fictional, that kind of started kind of a little bit of more of a craze to it, is the Thomas Crown Affair, which is a great film. All the others deal with real life art theft and all of that. And the first two, primarily World War II. We have the quiz here, so it's just on the 3 topics: printmaking, photography, and art theft. The final journal entry asks you to pull an article on art theft. So what you want to do, find an interesting article that deals with art theft, write a 200-word summary of the article, include a citation, and mention what database was used. So you're going to need to access the library's website, and it's real easy to do that. What I then do is click down here to databases, and it's up to you what you want to do as far as the database. If there's one particular one that you like to use, please use that, but you do need to use an academic database. You can't find the article via Google or latimes.com. You want to make sure that you use the databases. And so we'll see if we have US News Stream. That's the one I like to use because I think newspaper articles are the easiest one for this project. Once you click onto there, you'll have a search bar, and then what I normally do is I like to use art theft and also Nazi art theft, particularly because I'm interested in seeing what happened to art during World War II. And you just hit the search button, and all of a sudden we have all these really great articles. The article can be older. This one's from like 1998, but you can also have one that's more recent, like from last week. And the cool thing about art theft is it happens all the time. So the only thing you really want to stay away from is any book review. That's too short of an article. You generally want an article that's maybe, 500 words in length. And so this looks like a good one, identifying art looted by Nazis. Let's go ahead and open that up and see if that fulfills our project. The word count there, 1375. That's more than adequate. You don't want to do an article that's too long either. If it's over 2,500 words, it's like that's too long. So what you're going to do is summarize the article. You want to summarize it in about 200 words. You're going to, of course, click the link up here and copy and paste that, but also the citation. And sometimes the citation will actually have the link in it too, depending on whether you want to cite it as APA, MLA, and so on. So APA is just fine for me. Copy and paste that right at the bottom of the journal. So once again, for this journal, you're going to find the article. You're going to copy down all this information here. You're going to write a 200-word summary. And then you're going to go ahead and give me the link and the citation, and that's all you have to do for the journal. So that is the end of module number 10. Don't forget the quiz. And then module 11 is spring break. So the next time you'll hear from me, I'll talk about modules 12 and 13. And already we're kind of getting toward the end of this semester already. So I'm always available for your office hours on Wednesday. The only time I'm not available is during spring recess. And then, of course, emails Monday through Friday. So I hope you all have a great break, and I'll see you with module number 12.